What's going on, guys? Jacoborth back here with another video of Jacob's Life in Vegas. Hoping everybody's having a great day today. Want to talk to you guys about something that happened actually a little earlier in the year, and I think this is actually a good time to talk about it because, you know, here in the fall we have football season underway, which is big here in Las Vegas because of all the sports betting, as I'm sure many of you are aware about here in Las Vegas. And also, you know, soon after that, we're going to have basketball season starting, which is also big for sports betting here in Las Vegas. Now, we have sports betting that happens year-round here in Las Vegas, and for a long time, Vegas was the place, or actually say the state of Nevada really was the place that had a monopoly on sports betting here in this country. Well, that changed earlier this year when the Supreme Court made a decision where they changed a 1992 law. And I have an article here actually from DetroitNews.com that I want to read to you guys, read parts of this to you, because, you know, of course, when the law was changed and the Supreme Court, let the states say, hey, you can choose to legalize if you want, they basically opened the gate to a lot of other places to have legalized gambling, because it was estimated, I think before this, that there was a $150 billion market of illegal sports betting, if I'm not mistaken. Now you open this up to the rest of the country, a lot of people to do it legally. So, this decision to do this, I saw, like a meme about after the decision was made, how it's going to affect the Las Vegas economy, and it was a picture of like an atom bomb going off, and then it said, like at the top, like Las Vegas' economy is like after sports betting is legalized or something like that. It's kind of like a funny thing, but anybody who really believes that, legalizing sports betting, is going to have this disastrous effect on the Las Vegas economy really doesn't understand Las Vegas that well. So I want to talk to you about this because, there's an article here I have, and then some other ones were mention this as well, how they think like really this whole legalization of sports betting is not going to have that big of an impact on Las Vegas. So part of this belief comes from lots of analysts who doing research, and obviously they're into sports betting, they crunch a lot of numbers. They look at the marketplace, what they think is going to happen with human behavior, and really there's numerous analysts who even they didn't think, even before the law was passed, even a year before when they knew it was going to the Supreme Court, they did not feel this was going to have a really big negative impact on Las Vegas and the sports betting. And part of the reason is because sports betting is not a huge portion of the gambling that takes place here in Las Vegas. It actually accounts for a relatively small portion of the total gambling revenue. And there's actually a quote in here from Jim Murin, the CEO of MGM, and he actually does make some good points in this quote. So I want to read this to you guys, where he says, customers are telling us that if they can participate in sports betting at home, whether it's Mississippi, New Jersey, or Massachusetts, it will only increase their interest in the sport and their team, and they will absolutely want to come to Vegas in order to root their team on, whether it's a tournament, TV, or actually just, physically being here. There's a parallel to this, and Jim Murin mentions this too. So the parallel is when you think about, back when the Indian casinos were expanding all over the country, right, when that was becoming more and more popular. Those have been around for years now, and still tens of millions of people come to Las Vegas every single year. So, this process of making something, of legalizing something where, you're kind of like taking the monopoly away from Las Vegas or from Nevada, to an extent, really doesn't hurt it a whole lot. And I'll go more into this, where I'll tell you guys, when it came to this being legalized, actually the stock prices for companies went up. That was interesting. When the law passed, a lot of these operators and these equipment makers surged in their stock prices, which was interesting. But listen to this, guys. So statistics show that 74% of Las Vegas's visitors in 2017 gambled during their trip. Now the thing is, they don't know how much of this was placed on sports, but they do know that in 2017, $4.9 billion were bet on sports in Nevada. The casinos won about $250 million, and then the state's estimated cut was almost $17 million. So when you look at that, obviously there's plenty of money, coming in, but there's so much more other gambling that takes place just besides sports betting, which is why there's a quote here that analysts felt that, legalizing sports betting in other states will not have a material adverse impact on the Las Vegas sports betting economy. And the reasons they gave were the same thing, is they don't think that regional sports markets are really going to be able to compete with Las Vegas, right? Regional, place where you can go do sports betting, they're not going to be able to compete with Las Vegas because, guys, this is Vegas. There's only one Las Vegas, okay? And they don't think it's really going to hurt them that much. And they think they'll even help when you have big events like, the Super Bowl or the opening weekend of March Madness, right, or for the Final Four. Like those huge events, make people want to come to town. I mean, the amount of money that comes to town for those types of events is massive. And I actually have a number estimation here that the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority earlier in 2018, they project that 311,000 people would be visiting Vegas for Super Bowl weekend, and they estimate that that weekend is worth $410 million to Las Vegas. So those big weekends, those are going to be huge. They're still going to be huge to this area. And the other big part of it that this article closed on makes a great point. They say, with the expansion of legalized sports betting across the country, there's a chance it will be introduced to a whole new demographic who then want to come to Vegas and experience a Las Vegas venue. So, a lot of people are here actually embracing this, because now you're opening up sports betting to millions and millions and millions of more people. Well, yeah, they might bet locally, they're going to make their $500 bets locally, they may do that. But when it comes time for a big event like the Super Bowl or for March Madness, you want to be at like the best place there is in the country to go. You want to be like on the big stage when it comes to sports betting. You want to be at the coolest spot you can go to. Because remember, there's no place like Vegas. And there's other things people come to for Vegas besides just sports betting. So they'll come, obviously to enjoy the nightlife, enjoy the day clubs, the pools, the buffets, the shopping, all the tours, the outdoor life, that kind of thing. So there's way more Vegas has to offer that, just some local sportsbook can't offer. And another point, it actually was not mentioned in this article, but a local had mentioned this to me, was they say that Las Vegas has a lot better odds than some of these other sports books too. So, Vegas is still going to be tough to compete with. It's not going to fall off the market anytime soon when it comes to sports betting. It is a part of our gambling revenue here without a doubt, but Vegas is so much more than just gambling. There's so much more revenue coming outside of gambling, and even within gambling, sports betting is just a % of it. So legalization of sports betting in the long run could actually wind up helping Las Vegas, because now you have millions of more people betting on sports, and they're going to want to come here to the mecca of sports betting. That's for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Jacob. This is My Life in Vegas.